It's hair grease.
Welcome. I'm the Diva, carved out Diva.
April Cobb from April's Beauty Bar, and we are
Diversity and Equity in Education. We are hosted by our fantastic, phenomenal host, Miss Bianca Goolsby, a teacher for the culture. What's up, everybody? Yeah, good night. Listen,
I think we're going insane, y'all. We're going insane.
Yeah,
we're literally losing our minds in the house. We literally are.
we quarantined, and this is the type of stuff we come up with because we are quarantined, not on gone crazy.
Right.
Coronavirus. Okay.
So what? Look. Let me go over and invite people.
How y'all doing this evening? How y'all doing?
Let's get people unlocked.
And for those of you that are on here, please say hi. Don't just, be on here just snooping. Just say hi, interact with us, share it. This is a good conversation.
Right. Yeah, because when we get off. Yeah, because when we get off the live, man, we be seeing so many people on there.
Be so many tools, but nobody comes.
Yeah. And for those that are on here, share.
Right.
Share.
Sharing is caring.
Because y'all, look, we never know when it's our first and our last breaths. We never know. We cannot count them.
And
but not just
that. And they be sharing articles that they don't even read. So, I mean.
All right, I'm trying to get shared. Hold on, I'm trying to go share stuff to Will. Let me take you something before I choke to death. Hold on. Ooh, goodness.
I was like, if it went another 30 seconds, I wouldn't have made it. Let
me put it on appropriately because now it's almost head wrap time for the night. I gotta put it on. It's multi-purpose. It's multi-purpose. That's what it is right here. It's okay. Ooh, let me get these twists down. Let me lay them down. Are we still in here? I got my full Harriet Tubman going on. You all right? Okay.
Take my people with me.
Yes.
Together we are going to a brand new home.
Oh, look,
we in there. Oh wait, who's this? Who's jumping on? Hold up.
That's Dr. Edwards.
All right, we gotta run it back. One more coronavirus. Come on, one more time. Hold on. Here we go.
Hit it. She on there? You alive? Oh, she frozen.
She went to go get her hairband, I bet y'all. I bet she went to go get it.
This is a perfect example of the fact that the internet's slowing down.
Dr. Edwards tested.
Morning tea and allegations. Now I tried to tell y'all.
Right. Did she disappear? Where's she at?
She went to go get a headgear. I'm pretty sure. Hold on.
All right, cool.
Hold on.
All right.
So, what the lit read, y'all? What the lit read?
Man. Oh, there she go.
There she go. Oh man, she dropped. When she get back on here, I'll add her back on.
Okay. So people, have you been talking to your admin and staff and additional people at your school? So let's talk about that part. Go ahead.
I'm trying to get the sharing out. Hold on.
Oh, okay. You know what? Let me slow down. First of all, let me tell you about my day. I'm gonna tell you how my day went. You want to hear how my day went?
There we go. That's a great start.
So I woke up. All right, I proceeded from the bedroom to the kitchen, made myself a lovely cup of coffee because somebody called me early, talk about do the Friday rant. I said, okay, all right, cool. And then I laid around the house for about 2 hours, and then I proceeded. There she go. There she go.
Run it.
Run it back one more time. Yeah! Oh my God! I can't take it no more.
I'm gonna need a pump in a minute.
Me too.
I'm gonna need a pump in a minute, y'all. I'm gonna need it.
Look. And I done lost my place. What was I talking about? I'm trying to figure out why helicopters flying around all in the daytime around here.
Really?
There's one flying around right now. Their helicopter's been flying around all day.
Oh my goodness.
Who they looking for? What's going on? The only thing people stealing right now is toilet paper. Anyhow.
Cause they gotta get that toilet paper. Look, it might be because all that tea they drinking, that detox.
Yeah.
Too much detox tea. Too much.
Exactly. I know. My personal issue is collard greens. I done ate a half a pot. So yeah.
Right.
Half a pot of collard greens. Yeah. They good too. Yeah.
Very delicious.
They out there all day long, Alicia?
I will.
The ghetto birds. They flying around all day long. They've been flying since yesterday. I'm trying to figure out why. Who are they looking for? Who committing crime right now? We all know that, like right now, the police ain't trying to get nobody because they don't want to get sick either. Because I've seen a lot of reports on police officers already contracting, COVID-19. So basically, I know they think it's free reign on committing crime now, but it's like, player, really? Who you looking for? Who doing stuff right now?
And what for?
Stay inside the house. Stay inside.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But anyway, I think that's what I was talking about. I just walked from the living room to the kitchen and back to the bathroom and to the kitchen one more time. I'm exhausted. I did a lot of walking around my inside of my house.
Well, my day consists of me receiving updates on what is the 7th largest district in the United States rollout plan for our e-learning. So I would like to talk about that.
Well, let's talk about that then.
So I can only speak from my experience. The information was disseminated to the ILT team and the team leaders at my site. And coming from the math department perspective, we do seem to have a solid thought process as it relates to what we want to do collectively for the rollout plan. However, is that plan realistic to me? Absolutely not. Why? Because I feel that the majority of our students that we serve are not going to have access to the e-learning opportunity that is technically going to be shared out equitably to all students in our district. So I'm unsure what that's going to look like. So before I take and put so much time into Zoom and floating on and row your boats and all that stuff there, I want to make sure that, I'm going to be utilizing my current time, finishing up my spring break, my week off, to prepare effectively for my lesson plans on Friday. Now, the safest, I believe, and the most equitable platform to use is Etsy.
Yes.
Now, why is that? Because that's what the kids are familiar with. Majority of the parents are familiar with and what they've been utilizing. But when we add in Zoom, float on, and row your boat, we're not exactly sure what that's going to look like in the end. So I just really think less is more in this particular situation.
I absolutely agree. Because, you got to go with what the kids already know. The kids know Etsy. They know how to open it and they know how to navigate it. They know the tools. They know that I watch Etsy and I could tell them when they logged on and things like that. So, and I can track them better that way. With all these extra stuff they're trying to throw on there, it's difficult for me to say I'm going to do with fidelity. Yes, I'm going to do a video every day, or yes, I'm going to upload this. Nah, I got stuff on Etsy and I want to work with a system that they put in place from the beginning. So I agree with you.
And then that goes back to this, like, this is a new, when you're adding all these additional pieces, it creates a lot of stress for the teachers. I'm stressed out. I am stressed the hell out. I'm here to tell you that. I'm so stressed out. I think my medication would have served me better if this situation hadn't gotten to a place that it has. because again, I am I'm affected by all this craze that's going on. To say that I could just pick up and just go outside and go to the store and go this and go do that, I technically am not supposed to be doing any of that. My doctor's office informed me of this well before it reached this place. Now, it was kind of scary getting a phone call from the doctor's office. I thought he was calling about some tests, some stuff he missed a few years ago. I'm like, wait a minute, doc, don't do it today. Don't do it, Jesus. Don't do it today. But again, he was calling basically to say, hey, you are high risk. You need to stay in the house. And I do recall you saying that one of your children, he also blah, blah, blah. And your uncle, like he pulled out all those notes that I had shared with him in the past about family members and saying to them, they also need to seek out their doctors, care to get, they put it correct. Their doctor's care plan as it relates to you all being high risk, because again, outside exposure at any point makes you much more credible to be able to get whatever it is that's going on. You may not contract coronavirus, but with so many contaminants in the air, you're just more prone to catch something. And I was like, okay, that makes sense. But in the beginning, it just was like, you just don't know what to expect. So back to the conversation is now being told or no, let me not say that. They telling me what to do. That's what they trying to do. Yeah, they telling me that I need to be on at least 3 times a week and do attendance, and I need to make sure that the kids know what's going on, and I need to do a video, and I need to do this, and you need to log in and say what you're doing with your time, and okay, wait a minute. If I was a virtual school teacher, there would have been an extensive training that looked alike for all virtual school teachers in a specific genre of that particular educational type or delivery. So us receiving all these little bits and pieces all over the places, for some of us, the anxiety is like, driving me crazy. So technically, I think that we're not thinking about the teachers. That's just my thought process, because I could not imagine saying to my students, oh, by the way, you need to log on 3 times a week in order to get attendance credit. Oh, and by the way, half of them come on the bus late because the bus late. So sometimes the attendance got to be anyway. But it's a lot going on. Yeah, it's a lot going on. At least I have 4 air days since August that they bus gonna roll in at least twice a week with half the period gone. But that's that ain't anyway. Hold on while I kill a twin. Boy.
Coronavirus.
Get real.
It's getting real.
It's getting real.
2-pack. Turn it off.
So what have I done this week? Is that what we're doing? Like, how did we spend our day?
Yeah, your day, your week. What you been doing, admin?
Well, I have been working. I know.
On your spring break?
Can you believe it? We have worked almost every day this week. I have been, first of all, I had to get up to date on the latest, greatest. Zoom seems like it's going to save the world. So I had to get up to speed on what we were doing in Zoom. I hosted several Zoom calls. I had to work with my team. So my administrative team has been working all week as well. Today I had several trainings and meetings. Until finally at some point at about 1 or 2 o'clock when I started to respond to emails in my email box, I said, time out. This is the last day of spring break. I have not had a break. Been working all week. I'm going to take the afternoon off because, believe it or not, we've been working every day. That's all educators.
Hold on. I can't miss this opportunity to say we've been working. We've been working.
Kimberly has said, why don't the supervisors get together to systematize and make sure that at least the entire content area is using the same platform? That sounds too good to be right.
Legs, please.
That look like legs. That look like legs to be right there. Legs. That's right.
I will say this: the governor's office did put out to all superintendents that we could all offer to our teachers in our districts virtual training being conducted by Florida Virtual School. So somebody must have heard us the other day say, you know, it would make sense that the people who are experts at this may offer training on this. Now, I don't know that that will roll down to teachers, but it did come from the governor's office to superintendents. So there is a possibility that and it's about 6-hour training. Teachers would get to add that to their certificate. Again, I don't know if
that would make the most sense.
It really would. Not sure if that's going to roll all the way down, but that is the communication that was sent out by the governor's office.
I'm out here trying to design these websites. People keep hitting me up talking about they need a website, and I like money, so I'm out here working and saving the web one day at a time. I'm tired. These people out here. For those of you that are asking, the platform that I use StreamYard. I'll post the link so you guys can do it. Now, I'm not sure if it's going to be as fancy as how I do it, but I'm just going to give you the website name so you can, do what
Hold
you're
on.
doing.
Where your cups? Hold on. She said what? I don't know if it's going to be as fancy as how I do it. Look, pull up the slurp it.
Let me put my pinky finger way up in the air.
Where's your red solo cup today?
No solo cup? What happened? Okay, we bougie now. Okay, listen. Look, so here it is. We're receiving a bunch of emails talking about what we're supposed to do, when we're supposed to come in, the materials we're supposed to pick up, and then a rollout to the parents, which tells the parents that they have to come in a certain day to pick up these laptops and tablets and all the stuff like that. And once again, just like my thought process with the getting on the Heartline bus and saying you going, pack a bunch of people on the bus to go get food, it's the same process. You want to invite a whole bunch of people to school. You just told the government just told everybody to stay away, groups of 10 or less. That pretty much kills off the Haitian and the Hispanic population because they always over groups of 10 or more in them families, okay? So you talk about for real? So yeah. I don't understand the logic sometimes. When I read some of these papers and I read some of these, emails and I'm like, how are you telling me that this makes sense? And then on top of that, this would shut down a lot of conversation. When I post the question, and let me break it down and please correct me if I'm wrong. I'm like, well, where's the school nurse? Because shouldn't she be checking foreheads and temperatures as soon as everybody get to the door? Because one, I know for a fact some people are traveling, and two, I know for a fact also some people. Let me get my cup. Let me get bougie with it.
The question was, does this work with Instagram? No, it's Facebook, YouTube. Now, if you want to use it with Instagram, you would have to use IGTV, which means that you have to do the live, download it, and then upload it to IGTV.
I just want to know if she's gonna take temperatures, because I'm not going around nobody. No, because guess what? I can control my environment, my space. I can count on one hand how many people I've actually been around this past 4 days. One hand, I can count them people. So how can I guarantee that when I get to work? Mm-hmm. What's the guarantee? How many people they've been around? Mm-hmm. What about my safety? So you want me to just go ahead and die? But as long as I get a lesson plan done, I can just go die for a minute.
The red solo cup has showed up.
The cup came back. You know what? I'm going to change my cup in a minute. Hold on.
I got the Tampa PD cup.
You say
change color.
This is the same
change
cup
color.
you
Put some
gave me.
drink in it. Go change color. So I'm just trying to say, because I mean, and you know what? I'm concerned. I don't want to sound like I'm, being hyper, scary, whatever. But you have to understand, look at it realistically from my perspective. A lot of people at my job have people that they can go home and visit. They can literally see people in the house. They got a husband, children, whatever. But when I look, my closest immediate relative is 3 states away. Then I got another one 4 states away from that person. Then my parents in the Caribbean. Okay, if something realistically happened to me in this house.
Yeah.
Besides the ambulance, who coming? Because I ain't trying to make that one in the box below me. Then the box down there. I ain't trying to make that one sick. See the box right there. Where's she right there?
Yeah. But it goes back to this one to me. But I can't make no decision because it has to be a family member.
Exactly. She on the papers, but she ain't on all the papers. she got the code to the bail money, but she can't get all the money out. Just that one right there.
I love y'all.
I'm just saying. So you might call my name for attendance, but I might be like this on Monday.
We are full.
Oh my God. So with all the technology expectations on a serious note, the question becomes, how safe are all these platforms for our students to be utilizing? In most cases, we know that parents still, some of them are required to go to work, and some of them may not be just that savvy enough to even know what the heck all of this stuff means. You would be surprised some of the information that Tupac, show me on technology with platforms that they're utilizing in school. And I'd be like, oh, wow, it does that. So how safe are all of these platforms? That's my question for you as the expert, Bianca.
So some of the platforms are not really safe, and I keep going back to the law, which is COPA. So let me go ahead and put this up so everyone's on the same page. So what's COPA? Glad you asked. COPA stands for the Children Online Privacy Protection Act, and it basically makes it illegal for the collection of data of children under the age of 13 without parental consent. And so it's really important that you look at the terms and conditions when we talk about some of these platforms. And so
slide back in.
It's so interesting because as y'all know, I tell people, I called Zoom to get the questions answered as far as, how are they storing the data? How are they, allocating this for the students that are under the age of 13 years old that's going to be using these online platforms? Do you have mechanisms in place to make sure you're not collecting these children's data that is, in violation of the law? After being on hold for a little bit, maybe 20 minutes or so, I spoke with a receptionist that answered the phone, and they told me that they're going to give me a call back with the answers. So unsure really what they're doing with that. I know that some districts required the teachers to sign in using their district approved login, and so it became Zoom K-12, which does have a COPA policy in place. But again, I do see educators kind of doing it on their own. And so again, that question still remains. Are they protecting the data, and are they complying with the COPA law with all of these different apps and programs that people are suggesting?
So when you talk about COPA law, because I know when we talked a little bit offline about it, the key word that made me understand the importance of it is that, why is COPA in question? Why is it so important? Because you said something about it was being monetized. So explain that a little bit, what that means, because people be like, oh, the COPA law sounds like something good, but why is it necessary? Why did it come about?
So the COPA law became necessary because they started to advertise to kids, and they started to use children's data. So data, in my personal opinion, is the new oil. It's something where a lot of people use internet data, and they actually generate money. So as you can see, YouTube was fine with the FTC. TikTok was fine with the FTC because they were collecting data, and they were using that data to generate profits for them. So this is why they did it, for the protection of children, to make sure that children doesn't have a digital footprint, that you're collecting data on the child without parental consent. So it's just for a safeguard of children. There's actually more bills that's being passed to extend it further, and they're trying to propose it to be 16 years old due to what's taking place on social media. So that's why I recommend parents to watch the underground and unfiltered social media platforms in the episodes that I have every Thursday, just because I dive deep into what's taking place with internet security and how it's impacting your children.
And I want us to be very mindful that when Bianca goes on to provide this in-depth information, it's research-based. It's not just her pulling it off the internet, nothing that she's making up. It's true, current information that could possibly save a child's life, because we just don't know. I know as a parent, I just don't know. I mean, like I said, the Tupac share stuff that they've gotten from school and bring home and utilize on their tablets here, and then I'd be like, I'm watching what they're doing, but I don't know where they got it from. Where's their firsthand knowledge of getting this? And they'd be like, oh, my teacher showed me. Okay, well, hell, the teacher ain't told me nothing about it. What's going on? What is this? So outside of iReady, there's other little, resources that they provide. But again, I know I've never given them authorization to do whatever they've done to get these accounts. And I'm not saying that it's wrong for the teacher to do it, because I am guilty of it too now, since I'm learning about the, I was going to call it Cooper law. But that's the big green. Yeah, that's not that. Cooper law. Like, we become educated along the way. Nobody is all knowledgeable about things or experts. Yeah, so with this information that she's sharing out to you all, that could cost us thousands in the future, because we know at some point she's going to begin to So yeah, we need to be mindful of what she's providing to the community, because again, no one's talking to us right now. Let's be honest. No one's talking to us in the community about this information. We need to take heed to it and make sure our children are safe.
And the reality is, teachers like to grab the latest, the greatest tool that they hear about. And sometimes, I'll just speak from an administrative perspective, we are clueless. We don't know that the teacher has now signed up for a website and put all the kids in, and now it's disseminating information. And so we, sometimes parents may come and say like, hey, what is this? And we honestly are like deer in headlights. Like, we don't know what the teacher is doing because they chose to try something new, which, hey, we're not trying to stop innovation. But at the same time, these things like the COPA law are in effect in order to protect our kids. And if we're not savvy and know what Bianca is trying to share with us, then we may just get caught up.
Right.
So this is a good question on the floor. It said, can someone please help me understand if the laptop to the students free for them to keep or parents' liability for it? Questionable and scary.
Legs, please. Legs. Throw them up. I need legs.
Now, the position that the owl on the left-hand side had, where he's standing up very stern and looking, if we all begin batting our eyes, maybe the answer will appear.
Legs.
So to answer your question, Paula, we really don't know. We are kind of in limbo of what's really taking place. The teachers don't know. I know that they had a principal's call today, and everyone seemed, that this was under control. And then behind closed doors, everyone is trying to figure out what the heck is going on. So to be honest, my personal opinion, I don't have an answer for you. Unfortunately, I'm sorry. I've been asking questions. I'm kind of getting a runaround. One person says something, another person says something, and this is a lot. So I understand that, but this is a time where we really need to be intentional with the communication piece, because this is vital. And I really hope that the district is watching and paying attention, because like I said, on morning teen allegation, I went through the entire map of spectrum, and it's clearly identified that there's children that will not have access to the internet. So if you're going to penalize children for not having access to the internet, and teachers not having access to the internet, and all of these other states are doing away with it, then that is a problem that I have with the district, by not taking heed to what other states are saying about the inequities in education and the inequities with the digital divide that's taking place.
And I absolutely agree. I really enjoyed the show this morning, Bianca. I wanted to tell you, especially when you put out the call for us to drop those zip codes, and those zip codes were dropping like a hot pan on the ground. Okay, but I'm telling you, when you start pulling them zip codes and you start showing how they either available or unavailable, the speeds and all, that thing was a reality check. Even for me, I'm looking at like, what, for real? So I was like, wow, okay. And I hope they paid attention to that. And like, look, I don't know how you're able to tell me that everyone is going to have access to what you want them to do at the same time. And say, look, for example, let me just tell you, give parents realistically, listen to this. When we doing the fair test, when we're doing a common lit assignment, when we're doing anything that's a heavy testing day, our computers crash all the time. And we're talking about fair. We will have to block out days in the lab, because we know that first day it's gonna crash, the second day gonna crash, by the third day some kid might get through it with fidelity. But I mean, we're talking, there is no way in the world you're trying to put everybody on the same program at the same time. No, at the same, and we in the same school, and we do it all grade levels the same day. So you imagine 6th, 7th, and 8th grade trying to do a fair test, the same day, and everybody crashes. So and we're supposed to be high tech. It's supposed to have a high speed or whatever in the school. So imagine trying to do that outside the school now. I can't see it.
You remember how the FSA went last year? With all these computers online testing. So Elvis Piggott, he's running for school board District 5. He says they're going to use next week to get it all together. E-learning will not start on Monday. So I'm going to go ahead and give you the link.
Hold on, Pastor Piggott. That look. Unfortunately, some of us are charged with online learning is expected to begin on Monday. That's why it's so important. That's why it was so important for the information to come out from the one person, not given the opportunity so that each principal, and again, it's my opinion based upon my experience and my friends' experience and my friends' friends' experiences, that we all got different information based upon each, and we get that. But you have different principals saying on Monday, you're expected to have it some up and going by Monday. Online, you're supposed to be saying hello to your students online. You're supposed to be able to do attendance. Oh, yes, I'm expecting on Monday to have something rolled out electronically. That's the expectation that was told to me.
That I go back to this. I added the link here for you, Pastor Piggott. If you have like any receipts or anything that we don't know about, because I'm really curious about this, and it goes back to my point about how you hear all this information from different sources, and again, the communication piece is very, very vital when it comes to this. Kimberly asked if this is an official statement. I'm not sure, but that's something that I'm working on it now because that's impossible. Okay. Someone has said, is a replay available for the morning show? Yes, it is on my personal Facebook page, Bianca Goolsby, and I will share the link in the comments while they're talking.
And then I'm looking at the comments again here by Diana, who's this Williamson, who's saying the Department of Ed posted on Twitter, e-learning doesn't start until March 30th. So that's a whole, you see, that's a whole other thing.
And then also Delia Gatson, which is also a principal, says it will start on the 30th. We can use next week for planning. So this goes to show you,
right,
the dissemination of information is varying based upon your site.
Correct.
And
well, I mean, so the reality is the district website has changed multiple times. So if you go to the website and you looked at it 2 days ago, it had dates of when teachers are supposed to go live. Today, I'm going back and look, that post is no longer there on the district website. So the governor's office is making some recommendations, and then the district gets to make some recommendations.
And so but that confuses people, Dr. Edwards, because what happens is, why remove that versus just saying it's an update? Because you're confusing the people.
That's true. That's true.
Not to cut you off, I'm sorry.
The governor's office saying that we have the 30th Delia. That's interesting, because that's what Pinellas' plan was on their website, was next week is planning, and they go live on the 30th. The Hillsborough County had a different plan. They had yesterday there was a different plan. So I'm glad to hear that Hillsborough County has moved that back a week. But that was not the plan yesterday on the website.
So with that plan, I just want to make sure again, with that plan, that means that next week we should not be doing nothing more than possibly getting parents and students the resources that they need and properly prepare for everything to take flight on the 30th. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes.
Well, can I ask this question? Bianca, did anybody check to see if you call Spectrum right now and you need a brand new service, how long would it take for them to get that up and running?
So when I called them today, I called them this morning before I went on live. They told me that they could have somebody out by the 30th, which was next Saturday.
The 28th.
The 28th, yes, the 28th. It was that Saturday that they can install service. I gave them a faulty zip code that wasn't mine, and they said that it would be next Saturday would be the soonest appointment.
Can they owe a bill?
No, they cannot owe a bill, and you have to go through a process in order to get cleared, and that process takes around 5 business days on top of that time. So yeah.
So
And
you can't just instantly have cable
oh no, because
or
they have to
internet.
go through a verification process, and because of the coronavirus, and because they're down the number of staff, it's taking a little bit longer to process these requests. They didn't expect all of these requests to come in. But again, I go back to the map. You see all the holes in the map. So even if we open up all the Wi-Fi to the world to where hackers are going to have a field day, I'm telling you, it's going to be epic. It's going to be epic for the crime, the cyber crime. I'm telling you. But yeah. And I had talked to Pastor Pickett last night, and he was on the phone, and he was getting information too about Spectrum, and they was giving him the runaround too when he called, because he called too last night. I called this morning. I don't know how this is going to work, honestly. I really don't, and that's why certain states have just said that we're not going to penalize children for this e-learning situation. And I don't think that they, should penalize children for not checking in or whatever have you, because, like I said, if you look at the map, it's clear as day. You see these holes. You know that there's children that won't have access to the internet.
And then my thing is this: why not then provide a pen and paper option to just say, listen, this is what we're going to do. Or even so, because the kids are already familiar with EDSB, my kids know, because I teach reading, my kids know how to upload documents directly to the teacher through EDSB. And if you were to assign them something like a journal entry, you assign them cross curriculum writing, and you give them things like that, that's easy for them. They can think about it, process it. You give them a writing prompt, and you have them work on that, because right now it's all about enrichment. And you have them do that and send it through EDSB. It's a platform that's safe. They already know how to use it. But to me, that's a little easier than saying, and remember, a lot of them can do it right on their phone. Okay, because a lot of them have the Google Docs right on their phone. Okay, they type up their whole little thing and send it right to the teacher. They can read their document right into their phone and then upload it straight to EDSB. I watched the kid do the whole thing from start to finish on the phone. Okay, so why not give them that platform that they're accustomed to, then try to get all this extra stuff that they're not accustomed to, that might take them too long. Some of them might not even get on there till April. And then say, okay, now we're ready to go. I can't see it realistically rolling out at the timetable that they say that it's going to do. But like I said, God bless them, because they said man, like they say in the Bible, man plants his feet, but God directs his path. So hey, you can try all what you want to try, but a man plants his feet, but God directs his path. So therefore, or as my grandfather would say, go ahead and tell God your plans and watch him laugh.
There's a comment. It says, awesome. This is good to know for parents. I may come in contact. This is difficult conversation to have, but it is needed for children, teachers, staff, and families. And yeah, this is something where, we're talking about something that's very real. This is a difficult conversation. And a lot of teachers do not publicly speak out about it because of the retaliatory tactics of the district, but these people are not afraid. The next question is it possible to have assignment Dropbox? Now I go back again to COPA. Dropbox collects data on children. They do not have a COPA policy. So in reality, no, they should not use Dropbox, because Dropbox does not have the mechanisms in place for children under the age of 13. And if they're going to have that system, it needs to be applicable for all children. But there is a way in EDSB to submit assignments, and the teacher gets it instantly. So Dropbox is not necessary or needed in this particular process.
So Ashley says that Delia says, since we were on spring break, we are a week behind some of the districts that were in session. Yeah, we get that, but that does not change what Hillsborough County Public Schools has indicated for our district.
That's not true.
Go ahead,
I'm sorry, that's not true. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and say that's not why we are behind, because reality is we've been working our butts off. So it's not like we haven't been working this week. We are behind because we never created a plan. Like, Other districts started creating plans
What's she say?
months ago when this first started in January.
I gotta pull out my big
People
cup.
started having that conversation. So the reality is we just didn't start having the conversation, and it slapped us upside the head. And now we're trying to catch up because we have all been working this week. I wish we were on spring break. I wish I had time to actually just stop and think about my children and my family and all of that. No, we have all been working since we got the notice last Friday night at 5:30 p.m. when we left to go on spring break that we won't be coming back. So no, it's not because we were on spring break, because everybody has been working since we've been on spring break. The issue is there was not a plan prior to, and other states may have thought a little bit and said, I think this thing may be coming. Okay, rant over. Let me hush.
No, but you're right though, because if you think about it, the state of Florida is behind a lot of different states, and this is why they are saying that the coronavirus is going to hit the state of Florida much harder than a lot of other states because of the infrastructure and the systems that we have in place is just not adequate in comparison to some other states. And so the question was, where are the leaders making sure that there's sound equity in the learning plan rolling out? That's a good question. I don't know. She walked away.
She went to go shout, I think.
But I do, I do want to know where, the community leaders, if anybody was in, one of those pictures that, was posted on the internet, I just want to know what's your position, what you're doing. And I'm not trying to be funny, but it's one of those things. And I'm just like, all right, Kimberly got the receipt. She said, I checked the DOE website and it says that Hillsborough County has an additional week of spring break next week.
Which website?
The Florida Department of Education.
Thought that was what that means.
That means that the first set of emails that we received saying teachers need to be reporting to work and getting online starting the 23rd was wrong, because the DOE said y'all take a week to plan.
I just need all of them to get it together.
Hillsborough
Just get it
County
together.
gave out wrong information.
All right.
I'm not gonna. I have no need to protect anybody. It said clearly on the district website that teachers were going to go live teaching starting on the 23rd. That's what it said 2 days ago. I don't say that anymore. I just went back and looked at it while we were talking.
Kimberly took it off, and I have it up on the screen. Okay, so here's the picture. Okay, so we're here. Okay, all districts on extended spring break, and then it says official end of spring break for all school districts is March 30th. Okay, and then from March 30th to April 15th is distant learning for all Florida students. Okay, so this just took place. This is posted on the Florida Department of Education under the Corona situation. So all those meetings that you had taking place, but this is right here. Okay, they have all this information here, and I'm going to post the link here so that people could view it yourself, because it's a serious business. Thank you, Kimberly. Because Kimberly gonna get her receipts.
So someone said the DOE posted that today. Thank you, DOE, for posting that today.
At 7:21. But that's what we reading it.
Well, that's what we reading it. But there was no, we didn't find out but this live. So I'm glad that we having these conversations, because a lot of people would be ready to just rock and roll on Monday. Cobb, you sat there before we went on live making all your plans for your students, and now you have another week of spring break. You could have been using that time to relax, wind down, and get your house together for this coronavirus. Instead, you focusing on your kids during spring break. And again, she said, my pleasure. I believe in receipts. Amen, amen, amen. Thank you, Kimberly.
Correct.
My receipts don't, and I need to make sure everybody understand that is a motto. Mm-hmm.
Now the question is, what other principals have read that? Hold on, let me check my email.
Yeah, check your district email.
I'm gonna check it now.
See with an update.
Cause everybody love to tell us stuff, but it don't be in the email at all. Let's see.
So Ashley says, students in my class still struggle with logging into Clever. Edsby, forget about it. Then she says, I have so many ELLs expected to also provide these plans in Spanish for Spanish-speaking families.
Look, okay, I'm gonna show y'all this chart Kimberly was talking about. It's crazy. All right, so this is the chart right here. Okay, it's kind of small, so let me see if I can zoom up and zoom this up. Window zoom. All right, so Hillsboro's right here. Okay, so 3/16/20, then you have 3/20/20, you have 3/23/20, and then 3/27/20. So that is the extra spring break begins on 3/23/20. So that's on Monday, and then it ends on the 27th, 2020.
Let me interject by saying the last email communication I got from my admin was this morning at 10:29. That's the last ad that. So as of 10:29, we are supposed to be in there Monday morning, getting it together.
Well, according to the DOE,
and teachers need to know that, man. That's like so messed up. That's so messed up, because you got so many of us are like trying to get this crap planned and trying to figure out what my kids gonna do and what schedule I'm gonna have for my kids, and you can't bring your kids to school with you. You gotta leave them home if you coming to the school to get, like, what are we doing? What we doing?
Natasha said she got 8 phone calls about work Monday.
But DOE said we don't go back until 30th.
Give me some legs.
Legs. I need legs.
Oh man. Okay. So Kimberly said, so my question is now, does the extended spring break mandated by the governor means that teachers get an extended week off of work, or does that just apply to students?
Yeah, we don't know.
Also remember
I think
that
so.
Trumps the district.
Here's what I believe. I believe that just applies to students having an extended spring break, and that this week is supposed to be a week of planning for teachers. That's what's supposed to happen. Now, that's not clearly written anywhere. That's not written in Hillsborough. Y'all tell me. I don't know. I don't work for Hillsborough County School District. I work for Village of Excellence. But so and the plan we made was next week is for planning. Like, we're not expecting, I did want teachers to log in one time, to hold one time to have the kids, like, see if they can log in and, like, who's going to need extra help. But other than that, there's no, we made physical packets, and we sent physical packets home so that all of our parents can get started whenever they want to with their, well, we actually thought they were going to start the 23rd through the 27th with the physical packets. And we were going to spend our time that week planning, developing plans, and getting organized. That's what we were doing.
So quick question, all your teachers have access to high-speed internet?
Well, no, that's a whole nother situation, because a lot of people have cut the cord and don't have access to high-speed internet. They are working off hotspots. So that's another barrier that we haven't really thought about as we try to roll out these extensive plans. And we just need to be thoughtful about our plans. Like, what are we really expecting teachers to do? What are we really expecting students to do? What are we really expecting families to do? I have families that the older sibling takes care of the younger siblings while the parents go to work.
Right.
They all can't be logged in at the same time. Everybody doesn't have a cell phone. There may be 1 or 2 cell phones, and the parents may have to take a cell phone with them because they're working. And there may be 1 other cell phone in the house.
For emergency.
If I give them a device, they're going to log into the hotspot on the cell phone. So the lag is going to be so great. What are we expecting? I think we need to change our expectations.
Right.
So with your expertise, Dr. Edwards, you know, you got so many parents are under the assumption that they are expected to do homeschooling. Like, that word became very fragrant out there on the internet or in social media, saying, parents, you're expected to homeschool your kids. Hell, someone was homeschooling this week, what they thought was homeschooling, and it was spring break, but they just felt the pressure, the need, the time sensitivity of all of this to begin homeschooling. Can you give us an overview based on, again, your expertise and your doctoral status as it relates to, psychology? What should home learning look like for school age children? What should it look like?
So I've also have some experience being a homeschool parent. I went part-time a few years ago, and I homeschooled my 2 children, and I still homeschool my daughter part-time. So it takes you time to shift your mindset from what it looks like to be in a brick and mortar public school to homeschooling. That unschooling process is actually, there's a term for it. It's called unschooling. So that unschooling process takes time for the parent and the child to adjust to what life should look like. As a homeschool parent, one of the things we know in the community is that there is no way possible that you teach for 6 to 7 hours a day. You do not try to run a schedule of instruction back to back to back to back to back to back to back. That's the quickest way for you to tear down a relationship that you have with your child. Yes. You don't just do school like it's done in brick and mortar at home. That is a recipe for disaster and confusion. We know that there's flexibility in learning, right? I see so many teachers talk about cooking as a learning, right? I mean, there's so many measurements, and that's what all of that stuff has. That's why we're teaching it in school, so that they apply it to real life. So doing things like that, finding value in reading books, living books that kids are truly interested in, not just, okay, you got to read this type of text because this type of test is going to be on the test and right? Those things that we have to expose them to in school, but actually really giving the freedom and flexibility to know school. You may do some things at 8 a.m. You may do a little bit at 6 p.m. You may take the day off and then pick up the next day and do a little bit more or a little bit less. We know that we have that child's lifetime to build their instruction and their learning. So there is not a level of pressure in the homeschool community where you have to teach for hours. Our rule of thumb is the little ones, kindergarten through 2nd grade, maybe an hour or 2 a day.
I have a question.
3 through 5, we may do about 3 hours. High schoolers may get up to 4, maybe 5 a day maximum.
So I have a question. So for a brick and mortar teacher, what type of shift would you suggest to us in order to be most effective for our students? Because we're under the impression that we're supposed to create a schedule to account for all of our time in an 8-hour day. Now, correct. Keep in mind, my 8-hour day consists of 6 class periods, a lunch, and a planning. But there's only one set of lesson plans with differentiation instruction throughout the day, tweaks as we go along, but there's only one set of lesson plans. So how do we truly be able to provide accountability for our time realistically coming from a brick and mortar setting? Because what I'm hearing them say is, oh, you got to account for all your time. Well, what you mean, dude? I've been doing this for over 17 years. I could come up with lesson plans at the drop of a dime. So for you to say, now I got to figure out what to make up, you got to account for all your time. Like, it's more pressure, like what you're going to be doing. You got to be able to account for what you're doing. And you're out, like, what do you suggest for teachers that are now being forced by, unforeseen circumstances? I get that. How do we shift? Or what expectation, or what do you suggest for us?
So as a teacher, you have to shift your mindset to not, like, you had a class schedule where you had kids running in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. Okay. You cannot teach online anywhere near effectively lessons back to back to back to back. Because what happens in a classroom cannot just be simulated online, right? The amount of planning that it takes to really be effective is about double the time. Because For example, I'll just give you me planning a Zoom call. Now, if I were doing a face-to-face training with my team, I could write in my planning notes, give them 3 minutes to talk about this, give them a marker and a sheet of whiteboard paper or a sheet of poster paper, and have them write down their thoughts, and then we're going to share out. Now I'm sitting back, I'm giving feedback as I'm going around the room. I'm looking to see, okay, but I'm actually not on stage, right? You can never not be on stage when you're on Zoom, because literally your face is there the whole time. So if I tell kids, okay, now I want y'all to work on something, how do I do that? Do I use the breakout rooms feature and put them all in separate rooms? Do I decide who's going to be in which room? How do I have them annotate something so that I can now see it and everybody else will see it? Do I set up Google Docs? Am I violating COPA if I do? And now they got...
Girl, what did she just say?
Hold up. Say that again for the people in the back. Say it again for the people in the back.
What?
So all of what I just said.
Legs.
Yeah. So the planning that it takes to even make that happen and try to make that effective for a 3-week period, because they're saying, oh, you're going to be back in 3 weeks, makes no sense. For us to say we actually want teachers to truly plan effective lessons for a 3-week period, 3 weeks, it makes no sense. Now, like I said earlier, real, actual virtual school teachers, they have office hours where they meet with kids and they talk through things.
Right.
But they very rarely have, like, everybody has to be logging at this time. I mean, they do have those. Now, I'm not saying they don't.
But they have scheduled days. They might do a Monday or a Wednesday, a block of hours, a Q&A session. If you have questions, a video over here. But they do not put the pressure on the child or the parents to say, if you're not here during this specific time frame, oh, well, you just don't get credit. It doesn't work that way.
It does not work that way. It does not.
And there's some kids that like, okay, for example, during Thanksgiving break and Christmas break, kids will come back and tell you what they were doing, right? There's kids that will literally tell me, I didn't do anything but play Fortnite for the whole break. And then I went to bed at 2 a.m. I woke up around 10 or 11. I mean, so you trying to say, okay, that same child who's accustomed to doing that when they're on break is now going to shift in their mind and say, I got to be ready at 7:30 in the morning because my first class starts and I got to log in. That child ain't doing that. That child is a Fortnite super user now.
There are schools that are doing that. My son is at a private school. They are doing that. That is how they're choosing, because they feel like we're paying our money and that's what they want to do. And
because they want you to cut the check. They better have something.
Right.
So there are schools doing that. I'm not saying that that's impossible, but what I'm saying is, if you're asking a teacher, your question was, how do I help teachers, right? If I'm asking a teacher to teach that way, I have got to release them and give them the time to plan in that way. I've actually got to put time in my schedule to side by side with you. If I know what I'm doing as a coach, I have to put time in my schedule.
As a wait, as a what?
Well, hey, I'm just putting the word out there, coach. If I'm coaching that teacher, I actually need to see, they probably need to practice that with me live and say, okay, let's see how this goes. Let's troubleshoot this. So that the teacher is getting some, their feet up under them in this new paradigm. It's a new paradigm.
Very new.
You cannot do the exact same things you did in brick and mortar online and think that is going to be effective. It won't work.
Because my question becomes, these schedules that are being put out, and again, it's at various sites, because again, when Denise and I speak, people make the assumption we're only talking about our sites. No, we have a lot of teacher friends, a lot of them. They call and share the information freely. There's no handcuffs. There's no guns to their head, because they too share our overall concerns. They're just not that they're not willing to come forth to the forefront of the information. They just choose not to. They know we'll do it. No question. So one of them said, well, science is going to do it at this time, and social studies is going to do it at this time. Electives is going to do it at this time. And I'm saying to myself, wait, y'all are believing that every day children are going to sit at a laptop from 9 until 3-ish, and they're going to be going from class. That is, first of all, I wouldn't even do, let me say this. I'm not going to do that to my 4th graders for nobody. I'm not going to do that. I would not sit my child or children, because there's 2 of them, 2. Dose. I would not sit my children at a computer from 8 to that is insane.
And it's actually damaging to the child's brain if we want to talk about that.
Let's talk about it. Come on, come through.
There's studies with the MRI, and it's studies that show that the longer that you have screen time, the more that you have development issues, delay of speech. This is all stuff that's documented, and I could post the receipts there. Again, I go back. Y'all need to watch the segment that I talk about social media, because
did you post it? You put the link on there again?
I put the link on there. Now, since the people that are watching, I do want to do something really quick. Put a name of a school, okay? A name of a school, and I'm going to show you what the coverage is surrounding that school. I would prefer a school that's not like Fish Hawk or Plant City. That Plant, they don't have those issues like that. But maybe District 5, something like that in that area. If you just put a name of the school, and I'm gonna show you the map.
Come through, people. Don't watch and look.
I'm really, Bianca, while you're doing that, I'm looking at Pastor Piggott's comments, and I don't know what Pastor Piggott is talking about. Because
what comment?
Real people, boots on the ground. His last comment was, that's not being asked of kids to sit and do that.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
The teacher told her they're doing. Like, that's literally what the school said they were gonna do.
We say this all the time, and I will continue to say this. I'm gonna speak for me. Here we go. When you speak the truth about things that are happening to people that are most vulnerable, you're sought out as a troublemaker. It goes back to this again. Dream like Martin, lead like Harriet, challenge like Rosa. We want to seek those people out when we're looking for them for the positive side of things. But we don't want to talk about all the groundwork, the boots on the ground that they had to do in efforts to be now sought out or seeked out or looked at upon as being positive in all this. I'm not looking for the overall, oh, she's doing a great job, or oh, no, that's not what we're doing. Because we have no reason to lie. We have no reason to try to discredit anything that the district do, because number one is I work for them. And I applaud all the things that they do that's working for all children and children that look like me and my children. Now, when there's a things that negate to be equitable for all kids, yes, I got a damn problem. And I don't care who feelings it hurt. I don't care who people get offended by. I don't care. Because in the end, it's about all children. And I have a special interest for children that look like me. And there's nothing wrong with that. If more people took the time out of color to advocate on a different stance besides personal gains about what they want to see each other, I'm going to leave it alone.
The first school is Young Middle Magnet.
Okay, let's pull it up.
So
y'all ain't gonna try to stop my rant. Y'all let me keep going on. Y'all ain't my friends.
No, but we want you to express yourself. Express yourself. Pull it up. Let's go.
So I told the address. So this right here where my mouse is, that's Young Middle Magnet. Okay. So I'm gonna go back to the legend. Okay. Now I told y'all this morning that this symbol right here means that that's the indoor Wi-Fi, where my mouse is right here circling. So that means that it's only inside the building. Okay, you have where it's a blue and it spreads out. This is where it spreads out. This is outdoor Wi-Fi that anyone could connect to. Okay, so I'm going to zoom out just a little bit because I want to show you the discrepancies here. So this is, okay, oops, let me go back. Search, went too far. Okay, so that's Young Middle Magnet. Now all these houses that are around. You got Anointing Christian Fellowship, the church. All these areas around here do not have coverage. I'm scrolling. These are the kids that will go to Young Middle Magnet. All of this do not have access to Wi-Fi. None.
Can I say something, Bianca?
Uh-huh.
So behind over there, first of all, Young Middle Magnet and Orange Grove used to be heavily populated with the projects, Ponce de Leon and College Hill.
So that's
and now you have converted
right
them to communities called Belma Heights. The Belma Heights.
Belma Heights, yep.
So now, even though we've renamed them, the poverty did not change. It did not shift.
Right.
So therefore, in those communities, did we really expect a difference in the overall possibility of them all having internet access when on average it runs you about $75 to $80 a month?
I just want you to see all the empty areas where there's
and
no
shift over because that's the Ybor City area. So all the Ybor City now. Throw another one up there. What somebody threw out there? What school they go?
Let me scroll back up. So Sly Middle.
They said Carter Woodson and Mort Elementary.
That's Van Buren. So same concept. Yep. That's going to be your Sulphur Springs. That's going to be your Riverview Terrace again. Former projects.
Dowdell, Seminole.
Dowdell is going to be out there. What is that? Carver? No, not Carver City. Progress Village. What else? Dowdell was. What else out there? It's Progress Village and what else?
That is Carver City.
It is Carver City. Okay, I done got lost.
Mm-hmm. Sure it is.
Now I know in the Carver City area, didn't they develop new apartments, like some new apartments out there? So you may have a little bit more.
So
where are we, Bianca?
This is Slide Middle School right here. Okay. So just gonna scroll around. Okay. Now remember
Slide Middle.
Okay. There's no
Sulphur Springs. Slide Middle is less than 5 minutes away from Sulphur Springs. What's your point? Yep.
That's Foster Elementary School.
Yep.
Look at that.
So
but that whole circle does reach out, Bianca, right? How many?
So yes. So the map coordinates how many feet it goes. So one could be 109 feet, one could be 634 feet. So this circle shows you the coverage of how much feet it is.
Yep.
So that right here is not covering this over here.
Okay.
Unless you tap into this indoor Wi-Fi right here, which means you have to be in the actual building, which that is Grande Oaks off of Hannah Avenue. You have to be actually in the building. But again, I go back to this. Like, this is all areas that are not covered.
Well, let's pull up my site, Jennings Middle School. Let's pull up Oak Park. Let's pull up She High. Let's pull up Robles. Let's pull them up.
Yeah. Because I'm curious myself.
Get the address here. All right.
And also do a comparison, if you don't mind, Bianca, of a school that does have better resources, like Eisenhower, like Turner's Bartell. Let's give a true depiction of it. You better go ahead. Did y'all see the whole United of the mistakes?
Yes. Yeah, the whole thing.
So not United States, the United of the mistakes.
Right.
This is Jennings. Okay.
I see an empty road.
There's nothing.
Say it again.
Hold on. Say it again for the people in the back.
There's nothing.
Nothing.
Hold on. Jennings is not even showing up.
No, Jennings show up, but there's no public. Oh no, there's one by this pond right here.
What?
Wait, that's the church. That's Living Water down there. The church Living Water, something living.
So then we're back here at Jennings. So let's go the other way off Williams Road.
Because all that's mom and pop's rural area, which explains why our internet is so slow.
What's that right there? Stop there.
So this is Hillsborough Avenue.
That's Tampa Bay Tech area. We're back in commercial Nucio area.
And this is, keep going. That's Old Hillsborough Road. Not a lot of stuff happening here.
No,
Mount
that's the
Buffalo?
Nova Sassa. That's the other way, April. That's the Nova Sassa.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Okay.
So that's gonna be your mom and pops.
So then you said where else? Van Buren.
Let's look at She-Hi.
Go to She-Hi, yeah.
James.
This is very telling. I hope people paying attention.
I hope so too.
And again, we're not disgruntled. We're not upset. We're giving you valid conversations to bring forth when your dollars, tax dollars, are being
correct. So and while she's pulling it up, just to show you the difference, like I spoke to my sister. My sister lives in a very affluent community, and even before all this happened and the quarantine occurred, her 2 children already were taking home Chromebooks and laptops and stuff from school. Every child at the school has that, and that's because of the fact that that's in their community, their neighborhood. It's an affluent community, so they're accustomed to that. So for them to transfer to online learning is nothing to them because they've always had that. Okay, so just make sure y'all understand the difference. Let's see where we're at right now.
This is She-Hi right here, so that that's 40th. So the nearest outside hotspot will be over here next to the Trinity Gospel Community Church, and that Wi-Fi is, let's see here, 43rd public Wi-Fi. See how many feet that is.
And while you're doing that, Bianca, most likely those areas that you see that are blue is going to be your mom and pop stores. That's going to be your what the name of the store? Didi, what's the name of the store around the corner from y'all by She-Hi? They got the meat market,
gas station, all that stuff.
Yeah, so they they got their Wi-Fi right up in there. Then you got
the little meat market and all the little laundromat, all that stuff there.
Yeah.
All right. So someone said Chamberlain.
And while you're looking for that, Conchita Canty Jones says, I'm creating my own group in East Tampa, helping several families. One mom has 8 children. My mother's block has about 40 children who are not ready. No computers in the house, and the families are not connected to Edsby.
Okay.
Right.
So this is Chamberlain right here. So next to Chamberlain,
library.
There is right here public Wi-Fi, and it does go pretty far.
It's the library.
A library right across the street.
Well, that's what that is. Okay. Then off of Bush, you have several different ones right here. That's up here, and then again these blue markers right here. That's inside, but but that's just what that is right there. I go around it, more homes. Again, not everyone has coverage. So someone said,
what you want to say? I want to show you something. So, and then I want to do one more. Could you show us an area that's going to be very like affluent, like a Tampa Palms or Eisenhower, so we can show the difference?
So what about Fish Hawk?
Yeah, go to Fish Hawk.
Okay. So
I'm ready for ice cream sandwich.
Randall and then Newsom. So if I go around here, and out of full transparency, they're not going to have a lot of open hotspots here because they actually want these people to pay because they have the resources to pay. So all these homes, they have to purchase their own internet. They got a couple of spots here that cover in some neighborhoods.
I wonder if some of those are libraries.
No, this is Lithonia Pinecrest Road. Let me see what that is.
There's a church?
But also too, a lot of them did not want to have those cell phone towers in the neighborhood. They said it's unattractive.
Wait, what?
A lot of them don't want to have cell phone towers in their neighborhood because it takes away from the beauty of the thing. So it's like it's unattractive for them. So they would rather pay for like individual stuff versus the actual having a huge tower up.
Hold on, and let me not forget to add this. So one of my colleagues, 5 of my colleagues, we were sitting at lunch, and all of them, based upon their living in a new development, they Why, like their internet package and all of that is part of their homeowners association. They can't not be without it. It's a mandated service.
Mm.
Have y'all ever heard of that?
No.
So you know who I'm talking about. Goolsby, work with me. Like that's not a option. That's part of their homeowners. Like they have to pay that. That's a part of their package. Like their lights are done with a specific company. It's not Tico, and their internet and cable is through a specific company, and it's not optional.
Wow.
And they live in a river. One lives Riverview, Ruskin. What's the other one with the older people? Is it South City? South City? What is it?
Oh, Sun.
You frozen?
Yeah. That and Wesley Chapel. That's where they live at, and it's not a choice for them. So they have to have that basic plan, like it's part of their homeowners. They have to have that, and I'm like, wait, what?
All
so
right,
that would make sense.
I know we kind of got a little bit off track of our agenda.
Okay, let's get back.
Let's go back to our agenda.
So the next thing is, we didn't get too far off.
No, we didn't get. I said a little bit.
I know. We got one more topic.
Well, go ahead.
So AP students and exams. Are they expected to take the exams? What's the verdict?
So we saw one post that said that they could take them at home.
Right. So according to the website, I actually looked up in the AP website. The College Board stated that they surveyed 18,000 students who were in AP courses, and 91% of the kids said that they still wanted to take their AP exam. So College Board is scheduling an AP exam that will be taken at home. It will be 45 minutes long, and they will decide by April 3rd when that test will happen. So the test date has not been set yet. However, so there will be a test before the end of the 2019-2020 school year. And I'm putting that in quotes because I don't know what that end date is. The second thing they said, though, is so those are the kids who said they want to take the exam sooner rather than later while the content is still fresh. I'm actually reading from the website. The second thing, though, is they said other students may want time to practice. So for those students, they will have a second different testing date. So again, none of these dates have been announced, but there will be 2 dates for AP exams this school year. And
I think that's really fair to the students, because some students, even predominantly looking at your high school students, not high school students, your seniors, that's something that they would rather just get done while it's fresh and so on and so forth, because those kids work really hard to be in those classes. I know if you were to do a stamp back in time and put my barely making itself in those types of classes, I wouldn't have made it, y'all, because I look at some of the stuff that these kids are taking, and I'm like, damn, I don't remember doing that till I got in my 3rd year in college. But now we fast forward and acting as though the brain capacity is that of a computer. Yes, we were human computers at one point, but the capacity was designed for people that their brains already came into this earth that way, not to make all kids perform at that capacity. That's my thought process. I do have one.
That's a whole nother situation, but because Hillsborough County has more kids enrolled in AP classes than,
and a lot of them are struggling, but they're trying to. Anyway, so it says one pair. Carolyn Taylor says, yes, several communities in South County are like that. Summerfield, South Fork, just to name a few, meaning the communities that is mandated for them to have the internet package in their homeowners. So that makes a lot of sense, where certain communities, it's not optional. You got to have internet service. So they're up and going. They're ready.
Or Alicia said her child didn't get the survey.
Your child wasn't in the 18,000. That's
your child don't live in Maine. Now your child don't live in Upper Connecticut.
Walter, I see your question, and we're gonna address it at the end. Oh, Hillsborough County just posted, as we shift the education online, we're dedicating the week of March 23rd or March 22nd, March 27th, I'm sorry, to make sure our students and families and teachers are set up with online learning. Next week is set up for success week in Hillsborough schools. Okay, they just posted this right now, just now on Facebook.
Because somebody watching the page. Y'all just updated it? Who over there watching the page? Who that? Who that? Hold up.
So did we handle all the topics? Because I gotta answer Walter's question. But before I answer Walter,
Okay, yeah.
Fix this. We talked about all the topics.
Yeah, I think we did.
All right.
I think we did.
That has come hot in it. Hot in it, right? It's hot.
Let me go ahead and get ready to answer his question.
Hold up, go ahead. Let's get thugged up. Come on. I'm ready.
Kimberly said surveillance cameras. Mm-hmm.
You bet right.
All right, so we're gonna close out with this. Where is the elected leadership? I'm gonna answer that question. They are at all state working and not updating with the kids. Listen, people need to stop playing political games on our children. I really hope that y'all understand is that while y'all out here having these secret meetings and this, that, and the third, y'all should have been meeting about how we're going to address this equity in the internet and how our children can have access to the internet. Now we got a whole nother week to try to do this, and parents trying to figure out what they're going to do. And y'all want to talk about and post on your page, parents need to have a continuity education plan. Get out of here. Y'all gonna close out.
I was supposed to say something? Okay. After that,
So,
I didn't know what
we
to
would
say.
like to thank everyone for joining Diversity and Equity in Education. One thing about it is we are not disgruntled teachers. We are teachers that are willing to sacrifice whatever it is they say we sacrifices by presenting the truth. That's all it is.
Right.
We're not here to we're not here to bring and negativity to the district. We're here to be advocates as educators from the inside, sharing what we know are facts that are not equitable for all children, and those are children of color. Anything y'all like to add, ladies?
No,
I'm just happy to still be walking around on this planet on another day because coronavirus is real.
It is.